Hey everyone, and welcome back to another Explainer. Today, we're embarking on a back-to-basics journey into the incredibly vibrant, highly structured, and frankly, miraculous world of elementary botany. We're going to break down exactly how the plants in our surroundings function as living, breathing ecosystems all on their own.
So picture your favorite local park for a second. Maybe there's a playground, a couple of benches, maybe some winding walking paths. But what actually makes that park beautiful? Think about it. If you strip away the strategically planted trees, the lush grass, the bushes, and the flowers, you're basically just left with dirt and concrete, right? It's the greenery that truly brings the magic, the beauty, and the life to that space.
All right, let's dive into our roadmap for today. We're going to start with the root and shoot systems, then dig deep into plant roots. From there, we'll check out stems and food factories, look at flowers, fruits, and seeds, explore the magic of germination, and wrap up with caring for our plants.
Okay, let's kick things off with Section 1, the root and shoot systems. This is our structural foundation.
Every plant you see is basically split into two main, let's call them, operational headquarters. First up, we have the root system. This guy grows totally under the soil, hidden from our view. But trust me, it is doing a massive amount of work. And then we have the shoot system. This is the part that grows above the soil, the part you and I interact with every single day. The shoot is a busy place. It includes the stem, leaves, buds, flowers, and fruits.
Let's dig below the surface. Literally, for Section 2, digging deep into plant roots, our vital anchors.
This brilliantly illustrates the two main underground strategies plants use. On the left, we've got a taproot. It's this thick, main root that grows straight down from the stem with a bunch of small, thin side roots branching off of it. Think of plants like turnips, beans, or mustard. They drive that singular spike deep into the earth. Now check out the right side, the fibrous root. Totally different vibe, right? It's thin, it's bushy, and it grows in massive bunches right from the base of the stem. There's no main center root here at all. Grass, wheat, and onions use this wide-spreading fibrous strategy.
So, why do these roots actually matter? Well, for one, they act as strong anchors, holding the plant firmly in the soil so it doesn't just blow away in the wind. They're also incredible water and nutrient absorbers, pulling up everything the plant needs from the dirt to transport through the stem. But here's the coolest part. For some plants, roots act like underground food storage lockers. Seriously, when you crunch into a carrot, a radish, or a beetroot, you're literally eating a plant's taproot, where it has stashed away all its hard-earned food.
Moving right above ground, we hit Section 3, stems and food factories, upward to the leaves.
Now, if you've ever doubted what a stem actually does, there's this really cool, classic experiment outlined in our sources. You take a white flower with a long stalk, cut the stem, and pop it into a beaker filled with blue-colored water. Just adding a few drops of ink works perfectly. If you wait just a few days, you'll see something absolutely amazing. The petals of that white flower will actually turn blue. This is visual proof that the stem acts as a giant plumbing tube, carrying water and nutrients from the roots all the way up to the very top of the plant.
What's absolutely fascinating here is seeing how that literal plumbing extends right into the leaf itself. Look at the structure here. You have the broad, flat part called the leaf blade or lamina. Running right through the middle is a thick tube called the main vein or midrib. From that midrib, countless tiny side veins spread out like a web. It's like a perfectly engineered highway system, ensuring that water carried up from the stem reaches every single millimeter of that leaf.
But hey, the leaf isn't just a dead end for water, it's actually a breathing organ. Hidden on the underside of the leaf, totally invisible to the naked eye, are these tiny pores called stomata. Stomata are basically the lungs of the plant. They actively open and close, allowing air to enter and leave, which is literally how the plant breathes.
And well, breathing is absolutely crucial for the leaf's main gig. Leaves are the ultimate food factories, the kitchens of the natural world. Through this miraculous process called photosynthesis, green leaves take that air, specifically carbon dioxide, mix it with the water brought up from the roots, and use sunlight along with their own green pigment called chlorophyll to literally cook up their own food. And the cherry on top for us? As they do this, they give off oxygen gas, which we absolutely need to survive.
Let's travel all the way up to the crown of the plant for Section 4, flowers, fruits, and seeds, the reproductive parts.
We all know flowers look great, but their real job is to develop into fruits. And inside those fruits, the seeds. Let's look closely at the anatomy inside a seed, because it's super interesting. On the outside, you've got a hard protective covering called the seed coat. Inside, the seed is often split into these fleshy halves called cotyledons. Think of them as a packed lunch. They store food for the tiny baby plant tucked inside. That baby plant, the embryo, is basically waiting in suspended animation, with a tiny baby root ready to grow downward and a baby shoot ready to grow upward toward the sun.
Which brings us perfectly to Section 5, the magic of germination. A new plant awakes. Before they wake up, though, we kind of need to know what type of seed we're looking at. Botanists categorize seeds by those inner food storage leaves we just talked about. On the left, we have a dicot seed. Di meaning two. It has two thick, fleshy cotyledons. Beans, apples, and gram seeds are all dicots. Over on the right, you see a monocot seed. Mono meaning one. It only has a single cotyledon inside. Maize, wheat, and rice fall right into this category.
But hey, whether it's a dicot or a monocot, the end game is exactly the same: germination. This is defined as the process of development of a new plant from a seed. It's that magical, delicate moment where a dormant seed transforms into a living, actively growing organism.
Here's the catch, though. Germination is definitely not guaranteed. For this magic to actually happen, the seed needs a very specific recipe. It needs the exact right amount of water, sufficient air, adequate sunlight, the correct temperature, and necessary nutrients from the soil. If even one of these elements is slightly off, or if an insect decides to eat the seed or a harsh storm washes it away, the whole process just stops. It's an incredibly delicate balance.
So now that we know how these incredible natural factories work, from their roots all the way to their germinating seeds, let's talk about Section 6, caring for our plants, our responsibility. Since plants literally give us essential food, shade, and the oxygen we breathe, we owe them a little TLC. Here's a rapid-fire actionable list on how to care for them. Number 1, water them regularly, but pay attention, because some need way more than others. 2, ensure they get adequate sunlight so that photosynthesis food factory can run. 3, and people always forget this one, clean the leaves. Dust actually blocks those tiny stomata we talked about. Wipe them down so the plant can breathe easily. 4, give them adequate space in the soil so their roots aren't fighting each other for nutrients. And finally, use mulch regularly to increase your soil's fertility.
To bring this all home, there's this profound realization from Jagadish Chandra Bose, a brilliant Indian scientist mentioned in our text. He actually invented instruments to measure the electrical responses in plants. He scientifically proved that they actively respond to their environment and stated emphatically that plants have life. They aren't just green decorations. They are active, responsive, living organisms doing complex chemistry every single second of the day. It really leaves you wondering, doesn't it? The next time you walk through that local park we pictured at the start, will you see these living, breathing food factories in a whole new light? Thanks so much for joining me on this explainer, and keep on learning.